American Airlines is the focus of an unusual travel advisory. The NAACP is telling African Americans to be careful when flying one of the biggest airlines in the United States. It's based on complaints from African American passengers. Our Paula Tutman is at Metro Airport with more on the advisory and the reaction from American. Paula.
Hi, Karen. Yeah, the national office is pretty circumspect about issuing any kinds of advisories. They have done it in the past before. They do an investigation. Once they seem to get a lot of complaints, and once they do an investigation, if they feel like it's not safe for people to travel, they issue this advisory. That kind of advisory was issued today. Cue the welcoming committee. Zion is back from his pre-college tour at Columbia. He will graduate from Cass Tech as a 6'2", 16-year-old studying astrophysics.
He was sent here for a purpose and he's following it.
On his return flight to Detroit, however, he did have one complaint about his American Airlines flight.
It was kind of a small plane, so every time I got up, my head was like this.
Likely anyone, no matter their size, might have that complaint. But today, the national branch of the NAACP charges there's something more sinister and more dangerously systemic than tight seating on the plane. Today, a travel advisory was issued for blacks traveling the airline based on a multi-month, multi-incident investigation into complaints by African American passengers.
They put together a pattern of incidents which would lend itself to, wait a minute, time out. Maybe we need to call an alert for our folks.
President of the Detroit chapter, Reverend Wendell Anthony, is quick to point out this is not a boycott. It is simply a warning.
When the nation feels as though if you go to a particular part of the world that you somehow may be the victim of certain kinds of actions, they give you an advisory. And I think this is what the NAACP National Office has done now. Back at the airport, Zion's mom, Leslie, was shocked to hear about the specific advisory, but not the specifics.
I'm cautious all the time. That's how I live my life. So it's not anything new for me to be cautious about being black in America. That's just another tick on the list of places or companies to be mindful of.
Her son, however, feels such an advisory is not warranted.
I don't feel a need to have to isolate certain airlines for that.
For its part, the chairman and CEO of American Airlines says in a written statement today, bringing people together is what this airline espouses, to make the world a smaller, more inclusive place. He says, we do not and will not tolerate discrimination of any kind. We have reached out to the NAACP and are eager to meet with them to listen to their issues and concerns. Reverend Anthony is encouraged that the airlines wasted no time in reaching out to the national office, and he's interested to hear what comes of this. And of course, we will absolutely keep you posted, Karen.
All right. Thank you very much, Paula.